Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Okay, so just a little heads up. I may have to take a phone call. We had a little came home from dinner last night and we had water in our garage and our water heater was leaking. So we have a plumber coming out to fix it. Love the joys of home ownership. This is going to make great content, right? I'm so excited about the content, the story that's going to go out about this one. But anyway, the plumber's going to probably call here any minute to have me let them in the gate. So just FYI, okay? So, you guys, I wanted to do this more of a Q&A session. I've done a lot of teaching this week. I know a lot of you, some of you, I think most of you have been on at least one of my calls this week. And so I've done a lot of teaching. So I was like, why don't I do a Q&A? Because I've already come up with the topics I was really passionate about teaching this week. And I'm sure there's probably some questions on either any of those things, like whether it be 12-week planning, 12-week goal setting, tracking your results, habit stacking, content creation, content planning, social media, organic business, all of these things. So I wanted to kind of open this up for Q&A. So does anybody have any questions or insights from anything that they have learned from me over either this week or anything in the past, or anything like looming questions that are hitting in the top of your head that you would love to have some support in answering? No. Okay. Well, the call's over. Cool. Have a great day, everyone. Just kidding. Okay. So let's talk a little bit. I guess I can start a little bit with talking through, when we were on Tuesday, I taught a lot about 12-week year and the 12-week year planning. Who here, I know I see some of you who were on the call, but how many of you actually do practice the 12-week year? I've actually got to grab this phone 1 second. Hi, it's Lynea. All right, they're on my way. I'm going to have water here in half an hour. Okay. Win. Got to win. Okay, so back to my question. Who here does practice the 12-week year, or does or has in the past, or was on my call on Tuesday? One.
Lenora.
Oh, Lenora. Hey, Lenora. Do you do the 12-week year?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been using it?
I've had the book for probably 18 months, but I have to say I go back and forth. I tried once, then I went back.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely not perfection, but it's absolutely amazing. I think it's really the game changer.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a game changer. I'm going to tell you, people ask me a lot. I hear this question, Lynea, how do you get so much done? How do you accomplish so much? Right? There's two secrets that aren't really secrets. The first is I habit stack. Okay, if you've heard me talk about habit stacking in the past, I habit stack. I do one thing until I do it every single day, and then I add one more thing. I don't do a million things at one time. That's actually how I get more done than That's how I get more done, because I don't do everything at the same time. I do one thing until I've mastered it and it has become ingrained in my brain, and then I do more, right? And the second way that I get so much done is I practice the 12-week year. I plan on a 12-week cycle, and it's a little different. It's not like a quarterly planning. A lot of people talk about the 12-week year as a quarter. It's not a quarter. Okay, does a quarter seem like longer than a week? Right? If you hear the word quarter, I have a quarter to do this. Does it feel like you have a little bit longer than I have 12 weeks to do this? The word week, it is a more urgent word, right? And so it almost forces you, with no other word to use, it almost forces you to get shit done. Because you're like, I have 12 weeks to do this. I don't have a quarter to do it. I don't have months to do it. I have weeks to do it. And so, if you're just, I've seen a couple people in the comments talk about how they were on the call, almost completed with their 12-week year. Joy's starting the 12-week year. Lenora's been doing it. And yes, like Lenora just hit the nail on the head. You guys, you're never going to be perfect. If you're starting to plan a 12-week year, you're not going to get it right the first time. Okay. I'm going through a coaching on how to actually be better at the 12-week year. I've been doing it for a while, but I finally was like, okay, I need coaching on how to be better because I need to be better. I want to be better at it. I want to be a little bit better as understanding like what I'm doing, making sure I'm setting the right metrics, like putting together a 12-week plan to get things done has greatly has made my performance shoot through the roof. Now I don't have annual income goals. Yeah, I have an annual income goal. We all do, but I have that broken down to what I want to make in the next 12 weeks. So if I say I want to make $250,000 in the next 12 weeks, what am I doing in the next 12 weeks? I've got 4 levers I'm pulling, right? 4 levers. That's it. I'm not pulling 85. Okay. That's the other thing when it comes to like setting plans and setting goals. When you start to think about all these things, we're like, oh my God, I want to do this. I got it from my buyer's guide. I got to put my seller's guide. I got to do all these systems, have all these systems in place. But the reality is, if you have an income goal that you want to make in the next 12 weeks, if you're spending that 12 weeks putting together your systems, newsflash, you're probably not going to make that income goal, right? Like, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to give you a prime example. I have been wanting to roll out a course for 18 months. 18 months. Okay. 18 months. I was like, I got to figure it out. I'm sitting there trying to put together the plan, put together the system, put together the tools, put together the videos, blah, 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 trying to do all this stuff. And one day I actually went to someone's course. I wanted to see what the format was. And I was like, oh my God, this is the scrappiest thing I've ever seen. I can do this too. And who's been through my course? Nina's been through it. Ashley's been through it. Lenora's going through it right now. Joy is I don't know, Joy. I don't know if you've been through the course I'm talking about, but I know we talked about it. But there are people on this. And if you can real quick, Nina, was the course horrible?
Sorry, I just took a bite of food. No, actually the course was fantastic. Sorry. Let me just have a spot.
That's okay. I put her on the spot. You guys, I was so stressing out. Yes, Joy, the 12
okay.
So it was that. But my workshop, okay, my 4-week workshop, my boot camp, whatever you want to call it, I was stressing for like a year and a half trying to put this together. A year and a half, okay? And I was like, fine, I'm just going to do this. Okay, Nina, what was it like?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I learned so much on every session that you had, every meeting that you had. They ran over in time. You answered questions. You also got us help for people like myself that have trouble with Instagram. I still do, but I'm working on it. Now you have office hours, and now I can go back and rewatch everything. And for me personally, Instagram is new. So I swear to God, Lynea, I've seen your courses. I think I've written down almost every word you've said. But I'm going to rewatch them again, and I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to go get help. I'm thrilled. I love it. And I'm going to sign up for your next course. So thank you.
Thank you. So, and that was just not trying to plug my course, even though that would be cool. But my whole point was letting you know that you guys, if I had waited, if I continued to try to make this perfect, like it still wouldn't have happened. And there's literally 30 people now that I've impacted, 30 people that I've made a difference in their lives. Okay. Whether it be a tiny difference or a big difference, there are 30 people who have now learned something from me or are currently learning something from me. So if I had in my 12-week plan to say, okay, let me put together the system to make this course perfect, right? And then 12 weeks later, it still wasn't done. And then the next 12 weeks I was doing, okay, let me just perfect these systems. It's still not perfect. You see where I'm going with this? So if you're thinking about putting something into your plan and you want to have an income goal, let's be real. We're here to make money. Milo, could you put the link to my course in there, please? Thank you. That's a really good time to do it. If you want to make more money and you have an income goal over the next 12 weeks, now is the time to make that income goal happen. Now is not the time to try to put all of the things in place to make it perfect, to make it happen. Those will come naturally, because believe me, now that I actually have this workshop up going and now I'm actually like doing this, I'm going to tell you that my systems are now getting put in place. Now I'm scaling it. Now I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work forever. The way I'm doing this is not going to work forever. People want more. People need more. Like the more I give, the more I learn. The more I do, the more I learn, right? The more I teach, the more I learn. It's forcing me to be better, to be stronger, right? So I'm going to encourage you, if you're doing a 12-week year or a 12-week planning, just put it all together. Just do it and do it now. Shelby, I actually have a link to, do you use Notion? If you use Notion, I can give you my digital template. If you don't, we actually have a planning template that we actually shared in my class the other day. Milos, you can find both of those links and put those in there, please, would be great. And then there's also, I will tell you, we also, I bought the 12-week year planner. It's hard for me. I like to have more of like I like a visual person. I like to see all up. You can buy the 12-week years system itself called Achieve, which is actually a really cool system. But there you go. There's 3 options for you if you would like to have those. So, okay, that was the 12-week year. So that was part of the training that we did on Tuesday. If you did not come and you want the replay, it's a 4-hour replay. Okay, but there were some awesome speakers on there. There was a lot of knowledge dropped. So if you want that replay, please send Milu an email. Milu, put your email address in the chat, please. And Milu will make sure that you get the replay to that. If you want the replay to the 4-hour training, if you are not there the other day. So that is there for you. Cool. All right. So the other thing I was able to teach a lot about this week was organic content, organic growth. How many of you are in the lead gen rat race? Paid lead rat race. Okay. Mindy's raising her hand. A lot of people are the paid lead rat race, or you're an expert at marketing to your database, or you don't do either. And you're just hoping that your phone is going to ring because by some miracle, the universe is watching out for you. And they're saying, okay, I want to send Lynea some business randomly. Okay, so you're probably falling in one of the, Lena, I love how honest you are. I love it. I love it. Because you're probably falling in one of those 3 categories, because that's really where people fall. Okay, people who are really good at organic business, I have found in general, okay, it's not necessarily organic from social media. It's organic from referrals and past clients, which is awesome. I'm not going to discount that at all. That is amazing. And that is definitely where we all want to get to, right? But if you're not there, if you don't have a database, a 7-year, 8-year, 12, 20-year database of past clients in Sphere, where are you getting your business from if you're not paying for leads and you're not on social media? Where are you getting your business from? Ashley says open houses, right? Ashley does. That's true. Ashley does a lot of open houses, and she's given me 2 or 3 referrals from open houses from Arizona. People, and actually, I think another one, she just talked to me about another one the other day. So open houses are another good one. So we talked a lot about, on Wednesday, I did a webinar that talked about organic social media and how to actually find business inside your Facebook and Instagram followers. So if you have 100 followers or you have 10,000 followers, you should be converting at least 1% of those people. It costs you 0 money. At least 1% of those people to a paid client every year. At least 1%. And you should also continue to be building that, because if you're not building that, you're going to run out of that 1%. That 1% is going to dry up. So what we talked about on my little webinar on Tuesday was really how to create that content, to build that content, to build that awareness and drive awareness to your brand, right? We talked about the way you have to drive awareness is you have to be super clear on your message. That's where it starts. It doesn't even start with who your client is. I don't care who your client is if you don't know what your message is. So so I encourage everybody on that call to go back through and do an audit of your social channels. Go back and look at the last 6 pieces of content that you put out, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever it's at. I want you to look at those six pieces of content, or better yet, have your spouse, partner, best friend, somebody that you trust to give you honest feedback, tell you what they're learning from you, tell you what is your message. It's probably there, but if you aren't super clear about it and you're doing it subconsciously, it's not going to help you to drive more awareness to your brand. It's got to be a consistent, ongoing thing. So that's the first thing we talked about is 80% of the content that you put out needs to be in what I call the awareness funnel. Your content is a content funnel. Let me actually see if I can pull up that slide real quick. Where are we? 1 second here. So 80% of your content should be what I call awareness content. Because just like people are in the sales funnel, right? You know that your clients are all in the sales funnel. You have your top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, right? We all know that. We don't need to talk about that, right? Okay. So your content is the same thing. People are in the top of the funnel up here in what's called the awareness piece, okay? And they come to the bottom of the funnel down here, which is the conversion piece. And you can see it gets significantly smaller. So if you're not consistently putting out content to drive awareness to your brand, and then you're not correctly and strategically taking them down that funnel, you're not going to convert from social media. And it's going to feel like what you're doing on social media is you're just posting, spending a lot of time on a video that doesn't get you any results. Does anybody feel that way? Does anybody feel like they're spending a lot of time on putting a video out there and you might get a like, but then you're like, well, shoot, what do I do now? Now I got to think of what to post today, what to post tomorrow, what to post next week, what to post next year. I got to always think about what to post. What am I posting? What am I posting? What am I posting? What am I posting? Right? Or if you got into like Friday at like 6 o'clock, you're like, well, crap, I didn't post this week. We've all done that. Every single one of us has done that. Okay. I do it. Okay. We all do it. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to because I had a system now. But what we talked about is that if your content is not being put out methodically and strategically, it's going to feel like you are running around like a freaking duck. Like you're going to look all graceful on top, like you got it all together, but down below you're going like this and you're hoping that you don't sink, right? And you're giving up the actual value that's in social media. And what you're doing is you're spending a lot of money on lead gen, Zillow leads, Facebook leads, whatever you're doing, which you still can do and more strategically, by the way, but you're spending a lot of money on leads. You're spending a lot of money on farming, a lot of money on putting stuff out there without a clear message behind it, talking to your ideal client, and you're not taking them through the cycle. And you're just hoping, again, that something's just going to stick. It's like literally without a strategy behind your social media and understanding how to convert people and understanding the content funnel, it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping it sticks. So that's why you don't convert on social media. Because I hear a lot of people when I talk about how I get 70% of my business, that's $46 million. $46 million has come from social media. And it's not paid ads. It's not Zillow. It's not Google. Yes, I've closed some from those too. It's not farming. $46 million has come from social media. That's a lot of money from an organic source, right? But it's because I understand that if you're putting the strategy out there, if you're putting the awareness content out there, and you're strategically taking that content, recycling it, and then getting it down to that conversion funnel, that bottom of the funnel, that's where you start to have conversations that look like this. Let me see if I have a conversation here that I can show you. That's where you start to have conversations that look like this. Hey, my mom's on Instagram. Hey, my mom wants to buy. Here's the house. Boom, sold that house. Hey, we're merging households. We have a house we had to sell in Portland, so now we're merging households. Cool. Send a referral to Portland, and also we're looking for them right now. Hey, that's where my aunt and uncle or my grandma and grandpa are moving back from Minnesota. Okay, so guess what? When they're ready to sell their house in Minnesota, do I have a referral for them in Minnesota? I do. Don't worry, Alex. Don't worry. You're on board. Okay. So then Alex benefits from my social media as well. So if you're not having conversations like that are coming through your social media channels, the bottom line is you're doing something wrong. And there's a lot of value behind social media. I'm obviously super passionate about it. I could talk about it all day, every day, because I love it. $46 million tells me that I love it. Okay. And that's without spending any money. And I'm going to tell you, In 2021, I posted a negative $30,000 profit to my business. Has anyone ever related to that? Negative profit? Negative $30,000. Okay. I'm sorry. I work really hard and I don't want to post a negative profit. Cool. I didn't know that the IRS any money that year. Okay. No biggie. But negative $30,000 for all of the work I do. Does anyone remember what 2021 was like? That was a hard market to be in. Seller or buyer. Like I had 17, 18 offers on listings. Like my buyers, I was writing 12 offers for some of them, right? To post a negative $30,000 profit. It's ridiculous. Okay. This year I'm going to post over $100,000 profit because I've cut 90% of my paid leads, 90% of my spending. And I have now put that money back into organic social media because I've learned how to do it right. So I've doubled down on something that was working for me. Because when I decided to do that, I looked back at 2019 and I said, hey, 2019, I posted almost $100,000 profit after my first full year in the business. That's not bad for one first year in the business to post a profit like that. What was I doing differently? Well, social media, open houses and social media. So what I did is I took that and I said, okay, if that's what I want to do is organic business. I want to post profit again. That's what I got to do. I got to double down. I got to go back. I got to analyze. I have to assess. Just like I told you, go back and assess your content, assess what you're telling people. What are you saying? What is your message? Who are you speaking to? Are you ultra clear about your client avatar? Ultra clear. Not, I will help anyone. And actually, I know I'm going to kind of go on a little tangent real quick. I posted in my Facebook group, I posted, what is your niche? I posted that question a while ago. What is your niche? And how many people came back and said, I help anybody. I help anybody. I did my first year in the business because I needed to. I had to. I was new. I didn't have a specialty yet, right? Don't anymore. I don't help just anybody anymore. In fact, I don't even take business that doesn't come to me through social media or organic sources anymore. I don't take it. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want it. I don't want to take a discovery call with someone I don't know. I don't do it. Not because I'm too good for it. I refer that business out 100%, but that's extra income, right? That's going to open up my time to work with people that I want to work with, my true client avatar. It's going to allow me to help put food on someone else's table by referring that to one of my agents, right? And it's also going to help me make a little bit of residual income because they're doing most of the work. I'm mentoring, I'm teaching, I'm coaching, making some money for that, but they're doing most of the work on that. They're doing the legwork on that. And that is time freedom, people. That is time freedom. So I'm going to tell you, if you want to know more about organic content, we have a replay of the webinar that I did on Tuesday. If you were not there and you want that, please send Milu an email with your email address. And then Milu and I will talk about how to get that out to you. Okay. Milu had her email address in there before. But if you want to know more and you want the replay of that, there is a replay that we'll be happy to send you, and you can learn a little bit more about that. Because I'm going to tell you, focusing on organic content, focusing on organic social media specifically, and specifically Facebook and Instagram. I can't tell you how to convert from TikTok. I don't know. I don't like TikTok. I don't know. It's not my thing. Some people love TikTok. Man, I'm all about community, and I haven't quite figured out if TikTok actually knows how to build a community yet, like Instagram does. I don't think they do. But, I'd be open to learn. I also, YouTube is also a cool thing. But again, it's a community thing. I like community, right? I'm a community-oriented person, and Facebook and Instagram have the best platforms for community, which is why I like them. So if you are on Facebook and you are on Instagram and you're not converting and you want to know how, make sure you email Milu and we'll send you the replay of the webinar so you can watch it. Okay, that was my Q&A session because no one had any questions. Okay, does anybody have any questions now? Now that I've spoken a little bit, does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Kayla, hi. I haven't seen you in a while.
You haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you, and thank you so much for sharing everything. I unfortunately missed the planning meeting on Tuesday, although I personally have been preparing for it to get up to it. So when you talk about the replay, is that the planning session or a different one for the?
There's two replays that I offered. One is the replay of the planning session. That's a 4-hour replay. It was an awesome freaking call though. Because there's a lot of good stuff in there. And then the second one was the webinar that I hosted on Wednesday, which is all about organic content.
Oh, I already have that link. Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't, if you registered for both, you should get the replay. But if you didn't, just send me Lou an email. We'll make sure you get it.
It's actually behind you. You keep coming up in the. I've got double of you this morning, so
love it. Okay, cool. All right, get lots of Lynea this morning. Lynea rabbit hole. I don't know if I could watch a Lynea rabbit hole, but I like that you guys do. Yeah. Did you have something else, Kayla?
Yeah, just there's something I thought of, and I'm just starting. I've been doing my own study on the 12-week planning, and I'm actually going to take it out to my hairy, audacious goal and bring it back so that I know what I'm planning for. Because over the last year, I feel like I'm just on a treadmill trying to figure out how to get into real estate. And it's like I have a distinct goal that I want to be at, and it's out there, right? Like I'm reading 10X right now. So bring that back. But how do you stay on it every day? Like I had to turn off all the noise because I was constantly chasing gold objects or running down rabbit holes with, you've got to have street text, you've got to have this, you've got to have that. I've wasted so much money over the last year and really got nothing out of it. And I really believe in your content, but I feel like I need to tighten up where I'm at so that I can really focus and get value out of how to applying that to my plan. But anyway, basically, how do you stay on your 12-week? What's the trick? Is there a trick?
The trick is, first of all, that's why it's 12 weeks. It's a lot easier to stay on than a year. So there's that. So good job. Okay, you're already there. You're already at 50% of the way there. The second thing I would say is, when's the last time you went back and analyzed what your actual return on your investment of either money or investment of time is?
I will be doing that in December for my taxes.
So that's what I would do. And I would not even just look at taxes, and I would do it like that's what the 12-week year.
It'll be
the 12-week year allows you to go back every 12 weeks and look at that, because it's not only just a return on your money, right? Yeah, because you're right. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. That's why I doubled down on organic content, Kayla, was because when I was looking at all of the money, like street text, video views, reach, blah, 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 all the things that I'm told, there's so much. And then like right now, let's just be real. Who is not getting phone calls from a million companies a day wanting to sell you more lead gen? Could you take on more referrals? Could you take on more appointments? Could you do this? You have mortgage brokers wanting to call you. I can do this for you. You have title reps calling you. I can do this for you. That is the name of our business, and that's never going to go away. So what you have to do is you have to go and actually really analyze your time. Where is your energy best spent? What are the top 3 things that only you can do? That's a really hard question for most people in real estate, most people on this call, because a lot of people in real estate are a high D. And as a high D, it's really, really, really hard to let go of control. But there's 3 things, only 3 things. Your brain, scientifically, your brain can only focus on basically one thing at a time, which is why the Pomodoro technique is so effective for time management. But your brain is not intended to focus for 10 hours a day. My brain functions for 3 hours a day. I'm not going to lie. Like after noon, I'm like, I'll be surprised. You can ask anyone on my team, if they want something from me afternoon, they have to ask me probably 5 or 6 times. It's not going to happen. My brain does not function that way. So you have to go back and you have to allow yourself to really focus on the only 3 things that you're good at. And the only way you're going to find that is to analyze where your energy is most spent and where your money is most spent. And then you got to double down on those things. And that's it. And only one of those things at a time.
Thank you.
So my energy, there's only 3 things I should be doing. Only 3 things I should be doing. 1 is teaching. That's the number 1 thing I should be doing. The number 2 thing I should be doing is creating content. That's it. The number 3 thing I should be doing is strategy. That's it. If I'm doing anything else. So that's what I would do, Kayla. Go analyze that. If you want some help with that, you are in my downline. You have access to my calendar. If you need that, just text me and I'll give you access to my calendar and we can sit through that one-on-one and do that. I'd be happy to help you with that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Lenora.
Sorry, Lynea, my phone doesn't allow me to show my face.
I've heard that on the new iPhones. That's I don't know why, but I've heard that.
Oh, okay. So My bigger question is, so I've been trying to do the 12-week on and off. I always have this issue because a part of my time has to be dedicated to a second business, and it's the same nature than real estate. Basically, you're triggered by the client request. What kind of, I cannot and don't want to let go of one, at least for now, which is my travel business. What would be your best suggestion to be more efficient?
So I can kind of relate in that I have like two businesses I'm really trying to build at the same time, right? But I can tell you my real estate business almost runs like, my real estate business is systematic. It just runs now. Like now I focus most of my time on teaching other people how to run it. So I would say like, if you can figure out like in your travel business, because I feel like you've been doing that a little bit longer than your real estate business. Is that correct?
Yes, that business, I've been in that industry 36 years and I've owned my business for 18.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say like, maybe find in one of your businesses, find where you can almost systematize it to where you don't necessarily have to be in it as much and it starts to become a little bit more passive. So if you're looking at the 12-week year and you're like, okay, in the next 12 weeks, I want to really go heavy after real estate, like on my next 12-week year. So this 12 weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to get this business to come in like almost passively. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I needed to figure out how.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And like, you really just have to give yourself thinking time. Have you guys read the Road Less Stupid by Keith J. Cunningham? The Road Less Stupid. Add it to your calendar, to your reading list, and read it right now. Alex just said he did it, like, because I've been talking about it. I'm almost done with them. I have like maybe a couple chapters left, but it's one of the best books I've read on this, exactly what you're talking about, Lynea. So it
just to think. So one day you will you share your list of 100 books?
Yep, I'm going to do that at the end of the year when I'm done. I'll be sharing the list of all the books that I've read this year, and I'll prioritize them by what were the best for me. So, but I would definitely say The Road Less Stupid, because it talks to you about the science of thinking time and how we just, as business owners, we tend to, and entrepreneurs specifically, small business owners, we tend to not allow ourselves the time to really think through all these things. And I think that will probably help you a lot.
And the planner for the 12 weeks that you were recommending, which one is it?
Yeah, it's the 12-week year planner. I think the only place you can buy it is from the 12weekyear.com. I've never been able to find it anywhere else. So the 12weekyear.com, the 12-week year planner. I'll put, Mila, can you just take notes of that to make sure I actually get all the questions that people are asking? So I want to put them in the Facebook group to follow up with people. Okay. So we'll put the link to it there, but I think the only place I've seen it is the 12weekyear.com.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Joy, did you have a question? Your hand was up, I think, right? Was it you?
I had a comment. I don't know. I'll go ahead and share. At the 12-week planning clinic that we had, Wendy shared something. Thank you, Wendy Goss, because it really impacted me. She shared something about she looked every so many weeks at what she spent money on in her business and decides if she's using it or not and cuts it out if she's not. And I have some reckoning to do. So I have some things to look at, because she was really cut and dry about it. And it really impacted me, the way she explained it. She can probably say it better than I can this morning.
Didn't she say something like, did I spend money? Yes. Did I make money? Yes. If the answer is, did I make money? No, she cuts it. Something like that.
She cuts it, right.
Said?
Yeah. So basically, I add up, like I look at each system, and this is how much this system costs. This is how much I made from this system. If I made money on it, like more than what I spent, then I keep it. If I lost money, then I get rid of it.
Yeah, it's so simple. I'm like, oh, that's so simple.
Right. It's so simple, but it's profound, really. How many things do we keep? Every December. Yeah, I used to do it every December, but this 12-week year allows you to do it every 12 weeks, which makes a lot of sense. literally spend so much money in a year. So much money in a year. But if you relook at it every 12 weeks, you're like, oh, holy hell, what did I do there? You know what I mean? And you can fix it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Thanks for reminding that, Joy. That was really good. There was so I had Wendy talk about like different ways to track, because she thinks like Wendy and I, we are very similar in like our, like the way we perform, but we teach things and we do things differently. So it was really good to kind of have Wendy come on and share the way she does it. So I'm telling you, if you did not ask for that 4-hour replay, you should. And if you fast forward through all of me, just listen to Krista. Okay. Krista, it was awesome. She dropped serious wisdom. Then I want you to listen to Lisa too. Lisa Pinder. Like, hello. She's amazing. Okay. So Lisa, I want you to just fast forward through Lynea. Listen to Lisa, Krista, Jesse Zagorski. Oh my goodness. His tactical actions were just incredible. And then listen to Wendy. So just ignore me. Just listen to all those people. They were like the best. They were like the star of the show.
Right now, I'm going to disagree. Don't fast forward through Lynea. There was a lot to learn there. Don't listen to her.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to her, but don't listen to her.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Joy. Suma.
Like every day my calendar is like every 1 hour I do one thing. So according to you, I have to concentrate on 3 top things. Then you move on the other. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And when I say 3 top things, like I don't do 3 things in my business. It's 1 thing in my business, 1 thing in my personal life, and then usually 1 thing that is like health related, because I always have health and fitness goals. I'm always achieving for the next health and fitness goal, whether it be a competition, whether it be doing like my goal right now over the next 12 weeks, I want to go from 4 pull-ups to 10. Okay. It's a big jump. Okay. So trying to go from 4 pull-ups to 10. It allows me to focus on 1 thing, because I always do the same thing in my fitness. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. 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 I want to build my shoulders. I want to do this. Right. And there's all these things that I can do, but I'm like, you know what? The most impending thing, the big, hairy, audacious goal, the wildly important goal for me in my fitness is to do 10 pull-ups, because I can do 4, which is still pretty impressive, but I'm going to do 10. Right. So that's what I would say is like, when I'm saying 3, I'm not saying pick 3 things in your business, pick 3 total things, because your lives are separate too, right? Yes, we love what we do. We are what we do, but you want to have some separation, right? There's some things I want to do, some travel goals I want to make, right? There's some money I want to put aside for travel. I want to take this big trip across Europe. My best friend and I have a trip. We want to go to the 13 original colonies and like do like a little bike tour of all those places. Like there's so many different travel things. So you got to find those 3 things. But I would say like 1 of them needs to be business related, because that's where you're going to make your money.
Right. We have to send the text, we have to call, we have to email. Everything is important, right?
Yep.
How do you pick only 3?
Well, you got to pick what's going to make the biggest impact right now.
Okay, got it.
Because everything's important. Yeah, it's all important. But when you really boil it down, like, we actually really dug into that in the training, like how to pick. And I think Krista had a really good suggestion. Like, what did Krista say? Who is there? Like, she said something about like, what she learned was, because she's the same way. She's like, I'm the same way. Hello, we all know Krista, right? We all know how she is. She's the same way. And she said, what she does is she figures out where is she going to make the most money right now. So they're all okay, you guys. Well, thank you. I know we went over time as usual. Sorry about that, but we have a few things we promise you. We'll get those replays out to you of the webinar and the planning session if you email Milu. 1 last time, her email address is in the chat right now. If you email her, we'll get those out to you today, and then we'll get I'll find the link for the planner, and we'll get that in the Facebook group for you today. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.